So far, in the discourse of Noble Eightfold Path to Enlightenment in Buddhism, we have spoken up till right livelihood. In my previous section, I told you the importance of Sahasta during austerity, the middle path during following the austerity. And I told you that austerity is scientific and is not a symbol of poverty. In today's discourse, we shall come to the core of the teaching of Buddhism. This core, or the sixth path, as mentioned in the Noble Eightfold Path, is called right effort. Having prepared yourself up till now, what are the efforts that you have to do? Buddhist literature speak about four right efforts, and then they talk about a subject called virya. Let me explain you point wise. Amongst the four right efforts that Buddhist masters are presently teaching are: first, you have to tame your senses. It is also called Indriya Samvara. Samvara means to groom, to tame. This word is used for generally grooming hair. So, Indriya Samvara means to groom the senses and to contain them. The second teaching is trying to eliminate all the evils within you. The third teaching is cultivate the good virtues. And the fourth teaching is preservation of concentration. Let me explain you all these points from the perspective of Sanatana Dharma. These teachings of Buddhist masters have been the core teaching of a Pratyeka Buddha. However, I believe that you should know in much deeper sense. Killing the evil is a very generic statement. If you want to attack, you need the coordinates of the enemy. If you want to read the news in the newspaper, you don't need coordinates. Such generic statements are enough for you. But this discourse is for the Pratyeka Buddha who wants to practice. Hence, let me explain all these 4 points very, very carefully. The first point was to tame all the senses. From the perspective of Sanatana Dharma and using the reference of Mahabharata, this is the stage when battle of Kurukshetra is open. This battle is your effort. Now what happens? 5 Pandavas are symbol of 5 Indriyas, the 5 senses. They have all decided to hear to the advices of Krishna. Not a single step is being taken without the advice of Krishna. And that is what we call as taming of senses. That all the senses are using the filter of Vivek or wisdom before manifesting themselves. This is the first point as explained in Buddhism. The second point is killing the evil. Now, evil is defined through Kauravas. So, in this all out battle, the effort, you have to kill each Kaurav. I would not get into detail, but in my book, I have explained this battle in a fantastic way, wherein psychological aspect of each of the Kaurav and each of the killer is explained. The battle between two psyches is a wonderful demonstration of psychology so far. This is the biggest epic of psychology. Human beings have not done well in psychology. Hence, I would request you to get into depth of this battle. Each and every small trivial fight or large battle is a big explanation of psychological battle. So you have to get into detail of the evil and not call it evil at a larger term. You need the coordinates of the enemy. You need to know the enemy. You need to know the weaknesses of the enemy, the strength of the enemy. And also you need to know which warrior from your side is going to face this particular enemy of the evil side. Hence the battle of Kurukshetra is a wonderful explanation of this particular point in Buddhism. I would not get in detail because it will become too lengthy for the time being. The third factor is cultivation of good virtues. This necessarily means that you have to ensure that all Pandavas are safe and are grooming. They are in constant touch with Krishna, and this communication between wisdom and senses is cultivating those senses. Hence, the third point is all about discussions that happen between Krishna and Pandavas. And in this, the discussion between Arjun and Krishna before the onset of war is the main teaching. Again, I will not go in detail because this is again a very long chapter. The fourth point explained by Buddhist masters is about preservation of concentration. Now, this might look like a straight statement. This could have been explained within certain topic, but Buddhist masters have made it a separate topic, which is an excellent work. Now, for this, you have to understand one event in Mahabharata. Dronacharya became the commander in chief of the Kaurav army. It did not happen on the first day, it happened on the 13th day of the battle. When Dronacharya became the commander in chief, Duryodhan ordered him to captivate Yudhishthir and bring him alive to him. He did not order to kill Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir is symbol of internal eyes, the gauge, and this is the eye, this is the concentration which will be alive till you reach the heaven. This particular concentration is being asked to get captured by mind. Dronacharya is mind, Yudhishthira is internal gauge. So the large portion of the battle remains wherein the mind wants to capture the concentration, and you have to make efforts that the concentration is not clouded by the thoughts. This is one of your biggest effort. So these four efforts, although I have not explained to you in detail because it's a very long subject, it can be read in my book in detail, and I would request you to do that. This is the biggest step towards enlightenment. The second teaching of right effort in Buddhism is about a subject called Virya. Unfortunately, most of the Buddhist masters have explained Virya as bravery or Virta, but it is not the same. Virya means semen, the male reproductive fluid containing the sperms. This is the semen which Sanatana Dharma wants to talk about in this particular subject. Now, where does it come from? You will see that Pandavas' army had their commander-in-chief as Drishtadyuman. None of the Pandav or Krishna or anybody of that type was the commander-in-chief. The commander-in-chief was Drishtadyuman. Drishtadyuman is sexual energy. He is brother of Draupadi and is born out of Drupad from a fire. Drupad is subconscious mind. There is a big enmity between Dronacharya and Drupad. Dronacharya is conscious mind and Drupad is subconscious mind. Drishtadyuman plays the biggest role in this effort, in this battle of Kurukshetra. So, Virya means preservation of semen and observing brahmacharya. This will fill you with energy. I have explained in yet another discourse that there are 5 types of prans, 5 types of winds constitute your life force: the prana, the apana, the vayana, the samana, etc. And the biggest concentration of pran is in the semen. Hence, you have to preserve the pran. You have to make it stronger. One of the biggest event in the battle of Kurukshetra has been termination of Bhisma. Bhisma could not be killed by Arjun himself. Krishna had to pick up the weapon again and again in order to kill Bhisma. But Arjun requested Krishna not to do so and give him a chance so that he does not feel humiliated. Bhisma was very difficult to fight. He was the biggest warrior. He had defeated Parsuram. To defeat Bhisma, a character called Shikhandi was brought in between Arjun and Bhisma. Bhisma knew that Shikhandi was woman at a particular point of time. Hence, he did not want to raise his weapon against her. And from behind the shield of Shikhandi, Arjun began to shoot arrows on Bhisma, and Bhisma was injured fatally. Shikhandi comprises of two words, Shi and Khandi. Shi means a chain and Khandi means broken. So if you break the chain of reproduction, your soul has a chance of getting liberated. If the soul believes that it can reproduce through a sexual cycle, it will not get liberated. And this topic again is a very large topic, and I'm just giving you a brief here. In my book, this topic has been explained in great details. So this particular teaching, the right effort, is exact replica of the battle of Kurukshetra. It has been explained very superficially by the Buddhist masters of the present time. But you, as the practitioner and the seeker for truth, need to know more in order to actually win the battle. Enough for today. Thank you.